Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate your interest, whether it's your first time here or a return visit. Today on Vintage Gaming Memories, we're going to take a look at a vintage handheld game I just received a few hours ago. It's from an eBay purchase I made last week. The game is called Wildfire Pinball. This electronic pinball game, as noted here, is from the makers of Parker Brothers. Came out in 1979. It's a LED technology as far as the display goes. This was picked up by me for $31. I think it said, I did my little research on this back in the day when this came out, it was about $45 to $50 range. Pretty expensive, I would say, back in 79, early 80s. Was told that this eBay listing was a working condition game. Believe there was even pictures of the lights being displayed. I have not opened it up. All I've done at this point is taken out of the box that came in from the, I think it was USPS mail, and put it down here in my workshop for all of us to look at the first time together. Also, that came with this box was, in the actual shipping box, was this. Looks like an envelope to Parker Brothers if you were to wanting to buy the AC adapter for it. A little bit stained, but nonetheless part of the original. Let's take a look at the box itself. It is in pretty decent condition, I'd have to say. I mean, I've got a lot of boxes for my handheld games, and not all are looking like this great, so I'm pretty impressed and happy to see. It's not stained, ripped, or dented up in any way. It's a pinball game. Pretty simple, right? Concept, so we'll see how this looks. Open it up the first time together, and all right, well, that's interesting. Okay, so there's a little, I don't think the seller put this here, a little bit of a covering. Maybe they did, maybe not, but nonetheless, it works perfect. Looks like a nice presentation of the game as it was brand new. The instructions right below it, pretty clean, and no stains whatsoever, or rips or tears. Instructions on the scoring of the game, pretty simple. As I mentioned, it's pinball, right? What is the difficulty in that? You use the plunger and use your flippers and just try to get a high score. 180-day limited warranty. I think we're past that. All right, well, the game. First impression, it looks, well, it depends on which angle you look at. It looks clean, but then again, I see a lot of dust and grime. Okay, it needs a little cleaning, not bad. First impression is heavy. Makes me think, is there batteries in there? Not a good way of shipping things. Don't want to put batteries in anything you ship in the mail. Well, let's take a look around this thing. I don't think there was any damage or anything that would be noted in the listing, so I shouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if I saw anything. Yeah, there's scuff marks. I don't know what that is. It's got to be cleaned up. It is a little bit nasty. I mean, I usually clean things up before I would show them, but for this video, I like to give you a good example of a before and after. You can see some sticky adhesive or whatever it might have been here. I'll get that all cleaned up. I'm not going to open the battery compartment yet. Let's just turn this on. I don't know. That's probably not the smartest thing, but let's just try that. All right, nothing. That's fine. Let's check the battery compartment. Okay, I see batteries. All right, and I see just a little bit of the foam that's kind of coming apart. Not really any leakage. These batteries are Energizer Max. I'm sure they have a date on them. 12/20/31. Doesn't really matter what dates on them. Could be, like this one here is 7 years, 8 years in the future. But if it's been sitting in here and draining, it's not going to be good. Well, like I said, shouldn't have these batteries in the first place. I will put new, fresh batteries in. Let's see if there's any corrosion on the terminals, which I don't remember what they said on the listing, and there is a little bit. As you can see, I will have that all cleaned up. On the other side, is there any? Just a little bit as well. Easily cleaned and brushed off. We'll get that cleaned up and tested, but I was assured it works, and I'm sure it will. I'm being optimistic. And that is it from here. We'll come right back with the magic of camera pause, and we'll see how this looks cleaned up with new batteries. All right, we're back, Walt, with the magic of the camera and the pause, and about maybe, I don't know, perhaps I'd say about 45 minutes of work. I was able to clean this thing up. Hopefully you can get a good idea how the shine is on this. The nice cleanliness of this whole thing. You could eat off of it. Well, that's my hand touching it there. But battery compartment. Let's see how I did on my terminal. Did the best I could on that, cleaning it off. I'll show you what I used. Right there. On the other side as well. Let me show you the battery compartment. So this is the compartment cover. The other side had that foam that was just peeling off. I removed it completely, and have a topic to talk about that if we need to when we get to the battery part. But hold that thought just to give you an idea of what I used to get this thing cleaned. Let's see. First, I used some Clorox disinfecting wipes. So, you know, any disinfecting wipes will work. This is not going to hurt the plastic. It doesn't have that high concentration of bleach. So it is very safe. I wipe it off with that, disinfects it, wipe it down with a paper towel. It's not abrasive, it won't scratch. So don't let that scare you if you're going to clean your devices. Now, granted, if it's plastic and it's a display window of some sort that's an old plastic device, you probably wouldn't want to use something that's harsh or abrasive like a paper towel, because it will put little scratches on there. You'd use a microfiber, but this, I was doing the outside of it. I wasn't using it on the playing field. As far as wiping it down, I used the microfiber to dry that off, which is that. Second, after doing that, cleaning it off, getting all the dirt and grime off of it, I used a Q-tip to get in between areas. Otherwise, I normally would take this apart and really get in there, but it wasn't necessary to do that. Jumping back to the cover here, this had a lot of sticky elements to it, I guess you could call it. This back had that foam that was just nasty, falling apart. Had to go ahead and use some Goo Gone. There are different types of Goo Gone. This is the lesser of the strength type of Goo Gone you could use. This would just take off stickers like it shows on here, and nothing really heavy as far as a strength remover. I used that because that was not going to pull away the paint or anything off of the plastic itself. This is a higher concentration one. This is the Pro Strength one. Would not use that on this, nor on any of the handheld games I have. There's different purposes for this, but definitely not for what I'm doing on my games. Once I got it all cleaned and removed, to shine this thing up, went through the Novus line of products. This is what I used on my pinball machines, but Novus 1, plastic clean and shine. Definitely something to have if you're going to be cleaning your games, or if you're getting new ones in the mail like I am. Novus 2 is for fine scratch remover. This pretty much like a wax buffet, shines nicely. Then you go back to the Novus 1 to shine it up. And then for heavy duty work, you'd use the Novus 3, which I did not use for this. Just use Novus 2 and 1. So that is that as far as getting it shined up. The battery terminal, use some vinegar, baking soda, and those brushes. Came up pretty easily and nice. Did not pry back the prongs on these connections, because sometimes they will break right off and then you're going to have to replace it. So the connections were being made by looking at it. I don't think I need to pull them out to make sure that they connect with the battery, but we'll find out. And one more thing I did was I touched up this silver border. There were some areas that were kind of missing paint, so I used, what is this thing called? Paint marker. Got it off of Amazon. Great, great to have around for anything you have that may need touch up. It's paint that you shake it up like a spray can one, and you have a little pencil type of, I'll show you right here. I use the silver. Like I said, you shake it up. There it is. Just very carefully though, because it is like paint. It will just dry on there. So you have to be careful if you got to use this, and make sure you're not getting it on the plastic areas that you don't want, because it won't be easy to remove. But you can smell that paint. Anyhow, that was the last thing I did, and this is where we're at right now. So, moment of truth. Batteries. Oh wait, one more thing I did was I did clean the box that it resided in. This was it. This was nasty, as you might remember. It had a bunch of rust color things in there. Do I really care? No. Am I going to put it back in the box? No. But might as well clean it since I'm cleaning anyway. So this is going to go in my storage, but it's nice and clean now. So let's put this to the side. AA batteries, 6. My little battery caddy here. Actually, it's battery daddy. All right. Let's see. Let's go with the Duracell here. 6 of them, perfect. Okay. And these are new, so I'm not having to worry about checking the voltage on these. Now here's the thing I wanted to mention. I did take off that foam that was all kind of coming apart. There's a purpose for that. It holds the batteries in place more, so it's more secure. If it's not on there, it's going to move around, which would mean the connections may not be solid. So if I have an issue, what I'm going to do is put replacement foam in here, which I have something that will work perfect, but we'll first see how it works without it. Let me get rid of this to the side here. All right. I can't tell. It shakes a little bit, but that just might be normal. Okay, we're getting nothing. So, back to this. Let me show you that foam piece. It would be right here and fit perfect. Well, for now, let me just put it in here to see how it works before I actually use it permanently. Okay. Let's see. What do you know? Perfect. The switch goes from off to 2 other selections. It's the difference of the volume sound. This is loud. This is a little bit softer. That's the difference. Gameplay is the same. 2 buttons on the side here. One for the left flippers, as you can see, and the one on the right for the 2 over here. And then this is your plunger. This button. Pretty, again, pinball. How hard can that be, right? You want to rack up your scores. The instructions gave you an indication of what points were from each of these areas on the play field, but let's just make sure this works. I'm going to start it, and I hold the button down. There it goes, the ball. Got right in the cave. You can tilt it too, as you can see right there. Oop. Gets the scores in thousands, 30,000. Really a nice game. I like the way it looked at the end. I do have to fix that battery. Like I said, I'll make that foam stick onto the back cover before I put this on display. Take the batteries out, of course. None of my games on display have any batteries in there. Never leave them in there. Definitely not. Let's see, anything else? I guess that's about it for this. It's a wrap. Once again, I really want to thank you all for joining me and checking out my video and my channel. Appreciate it. Thank you all for that. Please also subscribe below. It'll help me grow this channel with some more of these vintage gaming memory content. And until next time, keep your gaming passion from the past alive by only one way, by living it today. Take care.